Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are back here in Michigan. It's been a few weeks removed from the SEMA show. Things are settling down, which also means a few weeks from the SEMA show that here in Michigan, we are in, that's right, winter. Winter is a cold time here in Michigan. We don't go outside much. Sucks to have a car, but it does allow us to be a little more creative as our clients do tend to drop their cars off towards the end of the fall, and we get them in here around this time of year, towards the end of the year, to get started on all of our big projects, which leads us into this one. This one is a MCLAREN 720s, just dropped off to us from a client in Tennessee. And he purchased this car with the wrap that you see on it, chartreuse color with gloss black accents. You guys will see as we get a little closer that the gloss black hood and the rear wing are of very poor quality. We're obviously going to strip this car all the way down. We've got a really cool build program that we're working through right now with the client with carbon fiber wheels, suspension, maybe a wide body kit. In any case, this is going to be a drastically different car when we're done with it. And we thought we would start with you guys today by showing you where we're starting from. Now, one of the things that we're doing a little different on this car is today I'm going to have Justin walk around with you guys and show you some of the do's and don'ts on a vinyl wrap on a car. There's some things on this car. This car was done in Atlanta, from my understanding, from a reputable shop. Nothing wrong with it from 10 feet away. And I'm sure from these photos that are going to scroll through here right now, you guys will see how good the car looks from a distance. And really, that's the problem with the internet these days, is that a car looks great in photos, looks great on Instagram, YouTube, until you get up close and look at the details. So today, we're going to walk around the car together and show you some of the details on this car that just wouldn't leave the shop here at Label when we're done. So I'm going to pass you over to Justin. I'm going to jump on the camera, and Justin's going to walk around the car and show you some items on this that we're going to make sure that we don't repeat on the client's finished project.
So we're taking a look at the 720 here. First thing I wanted to point out was the hood. Andy kind of mentioned it. This is 3M 2080 gloss black, just a standard gloss black film. As you can see, insane amount of orange peel, a lot of imperfection, adhesive lines throughout it, and a bunch of scratches. So there's no protectant on these gloss black films. So if we're ever doing gloss black, typically we use gloss black PPF. If the application allows, some things you can't use the color PPF because it doesn't stretch like vinyl. But if that's the case, we'll just get something painted, just because we don't want the outcome to turn out like this. So from the hood, let's move on down to the bumper. So the bumper has some issues in terms of the sensor. So nothing was removed on the car. We noticed that kind of looking at it throughout. We removed all panels. So the bumpers, pretty much every molding, every piece that comes off the car, we pull it off just to ensure everything is tucked around. So with these, we pull the sensor off, individually wrap each sensor, take the gasket off the sensor, wrap it, put the gasket back on so it looks like an OEM painted sensor. You would never know the difference, and then you wouldn't get these issues. So that's just a stone protruding through the vinyl, poking through, and you can see a little bit of the white paint underneath. Let's move up to the fenders. Here we've got a lot of lifting issues basically throughout the car on all the corners. So when we're using these kind of films, post-heating is unnecessary. You cannot not post-heat. I've had issues in the past not post-heating certain corners, and you get lifting within 24 hours. So just kind of throughout the car, all these corners are lifting. So we would just basically post-heat everything, make sure everything stays down. So down here, we've got the emblems. So these emblems kind of look like they were just individually stuck on. There's no templating system. You can tell they're all out of line. So we use grid pre-mask with measurements to make sure these go back to the OEM spot every single time. So that's kind of one thing we noticed right away. Both sides of the emblems are all out of skew and not templated. So that's just another thing we wanted to take note of. And kind of how our wraps differ is when we're taking emblems off, we want them to go back the exact way as the OEM. Moving on to the back of the car. So up here on the rear 3/4, we've got some patching kind of around these vents. It doesn't look like these were necessarily taking out, which, like I said, we removed basically everything when we do the full color change. And then some of the areas, like on these tight corners, we have ghosting and whiting. So these films are very temperamental. They discolor very easily. So when we get like over stretch marks, like right here, you can kind of see some whiting. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but this happens quite frequently. So if we get something like this, we'll just rewrap the panel. We don't care about the material costs. We want the outcome to be perfect in the end. Moving on to the back. So we've got gloss black 2080 on the wing. Once again, it just looks terrible. I don't know how else to say it. There's adhesive lines, scratches, orange peel, just all that. So it just doesn't look good. Down here on the bumper, not terrible. We've just got some more of the whiting like I was talking about. Sensors obviously are not pulled out, removed, and wrapped. So there's just a couple things there that once the car gets fully disassembled, you eliminate a lot of these issues. So a lot of the parts will just get pulled off, so then everything can get properly wrapped and you won't ever tell typically that it's wrapped. We'll kind of show you guys the process of what we do. We're gonna get started stripping the vinyl right now, and then we'll move on to taking apart the car to start the build, and then we'll start wrapping the car back to a unique color. So we'll stay tuned and we'll get started on this.
So this is going to conclude the removal of the wrap on our 720 here. The car looks pretty good underneath the vinyl. Justin kind of got all the adhesive cleaned up off of it and showing us kind of where we're going to start from. So it took about a week to have everything removed, cleaned up, and prepared for the new wrap and also some of the carbon addition. So I think at this point, we're gonna sit down with the client and put together our final package and then finally get this car on the lift and start the build.